You know that feeling when you're scrolling through social media and everyone seems to be living their best life on some tropical beach? Meanwhile, you're wondering if you'll ever be able to afford a vacation, let alone retire? Well, stick around, because I'm about to blow your mind with some retirement savings hacks that'll work even if your paycheck is more ramen noodles than caviar dreams. Now picture this. 5 years ago, my retirement fund was sadder than a deflated balloon at a kid's birthday party. Fast forward to today, and it's growing faster than my neighbor's zucchini patch in summer. And here's the kicker. I did it all on a salary that most financial gurus would laugh at. I know what you're thinking. Come on, seriously? I can barely keep up with my Netflix subscription, let alone save for retirement. Trust me, I've been there. I used to think retirement savings were for people who shop at Whole Foods and drive fancy cars. But what if I told you that you're probably walking past money every single day without even realizing it? Money that could be funding your future margaritas on the beach? Let's get real for a second. Saving for retirement isn't about how fat your paycheck is. It's about how clever you are with the dollars you do have. Today, I'm going to share 5 mind-blowing ways to build your retirement nest egg, even if you think your budget is tighter than your jeans after Thanksgiving dinner. First up, let's talk about the magic of compound interest. Einstein called it the 8th wonder of the world, and let me tell you, the guy was onto something. Compound interest is like a snowball rolling down a hill, getting bigger and bigger as it goes. It's basically money-making babies! Let's break it down with some numbers that'll make your jaw drop. Imagine you start with just $10 a week. That's less than 2 fancy lattes, right? If you invest that $10 every week from age 25 to 65, and your investments earn an average of 7% a year, which is pretty standard, you'll end up with over $100,000. I'll give you a moment to pick your jaw up off the floor. But wait, it gets even better. If you can bump that up to $20 a week, maybe by skipping that impulse buy at Target or packing your lunch a few times, you're looking at over $200,000. That's the power of compound interest, my friends. It's like a time machine for your money. The earlier you start and the more consistent you are, the bigger your money snowball gets. Now I can already hear some of you saying, but I don't have an extra 10 or 20 hours a week. Don't worry, I've got you covered. Let's move on to our second strategy, the power of micro savings. This is where we turn your spare change into a retirement goldmine. This is where apps like Acorns or Digit become your secret weapon in the battle for a comfy retirement. Let's say you're using Acorns. Every time you make a purchase, it rounds up to the nearest dollar and invests the difference. Sounds small, right? But let's break it down. Imagine you buy a coffee for $3.50. Acorns rounds it up to 4 pours and invests that 50 cents. Now let's say you make about 20 transactions a week. Grabbing lunch, buying groceries, filling up gas. That's roughly 5 lives a week in roundups. $5, that's nothing. I hear you say, but hold on to your hats because here's where it gets exciting. If you invest just 5 lives a week for 30 years, and remember, you're not even noticing this money leaving your account. Assuming a 7% average annual return, you'd end up with about $27,000. That's enough to fund a pretty sweet vacation in your retirement years, all from spare change you wouldn't have missed anyway. But wait, it gets better. Let's say you decide to boost your Acorns account with an extra $20 a month, maybe by skipping one takeout meal. Now you're putting in about $25 a month total. After 30 years at that same 7% return, you're looking at a whopping $40,000. That's like finding 40 grand in your couch cushions. Or let's look at Digit. This clever app analyzes your spending habits and automatically moves small amounts into savings that it thinks you won't miss. Say it saves an average of $2 a day for you. That's about $60 a month. If you let that grow for 30 years at 7%, you're talking about $68,000. Now imagine combining this with your other retirement savings. Suddenly, that tropical beach retirement doesn't seem so far-fetched, does it? But here's the real kicker. This strategy works even if you're living paycheck to paycheck. Because you're not actively budgeting this money, you don't feel the pinch. It's like your future self is sneaking money from your present self, but in a totally legal and awesome way. I had a friend, let's call her Sarah, who swore she couldn't save a dime. She started using Acorns 3 years ago and just checked her account balance. She nearly fell off her chair when she saw she had over $2,000 saved up. And the best part? She said she never once felt like she was sacrificing or budgeting. So, whether you're Team Acorns or Team Digit or any other micro savings app, the point is this. Small amounts add up to big results over time. It's like building a mountain one pebble at a time. Before you know it, you're standing on top, looking at a view of your very own financial success story. Remember, when it comes to saving for retirement, every penny counts. And with these apps, you're putting those pennies to work harder than a squirrel preparing for winter. So why not give it a try? Your future self might just thank you with a pina colada on that beach we keep talking about. Now let's talk about strategy number 3, what I like to call the side hustle retirement boost. Before you start groaning about getting a second job, hear me out. I'm not talking about spending your weekends flipping burgers. I'm talking about fun, easy ways to earn extra cash that goes straight into your retirement fund. Did you know you can get paid to take surveys online? Or that you can earn money by walking dogs in your neighborhood? Websites like Swagbucks or apps like Rover make it super easy to earn a little extra dough in your spare time. And here's the secret sauce. Commit to putting all of that money straight into your retirement account. Trust me, future you will be doing a happy dance on the beach. Moving on to strategy number 4, maximizing your employer benefits. If your job offers a 401k match, you need to jump on that faster than a cat on a laser pointer. This is literally free money, people. Even if you can only afford to contribute 1% of your paycheck, if your employer matches that 1%, you've just doubled your investment. It's like buy one, get one free, but for your future. Now, I know all this talk about 401ks and IRAs might be making some of your heads spin. So let's take a quick break for a Q&A session. Don't worry, I promise it'll be more fun than your high school math class. Q. But what if my employer doesn't offer a 401k? Am I doomed to work until I'm 90? Not at all. You can open an individual retirement account, IRA, faster than you can say financial freedom. There are even options specifically designed for people with lower incomes, like the MyRA program. It's like the government is giving you a high five for saving. Q. I'm already in my 40s. Is it too late for me to start? Should I just give up and start collecting cats instead? Whoa there, slow down on the cat collecting. It's absolutely not too late. While it's true that starting earlier is better, thanks compound interest, starting now is always better than not starting at all. Plus, once you hit 50, you're allowed to make catch-up contributions to your retirement accounts. It's like the financial equivalent of hitting the turbo button in Mario Kart. Q. I've got more debt than a small country. Shouldn't I focus on paying that off first? Great question. While it's important to tackle high-interest debt like credit cards, those things are as dangerous as a box of donuts on a diet. Don't let that stop you from saving for retirement altogether. Even small contributions can make a big difference over time. It's all about finding that sweet spot between debt repayment and saving. All right, now that we've cleared up some burning questions, let's move on to our 5th and final strategy. This one might surprise you more than finding out that your cat has a secret Instagram account. It's called retirement hacking, and it's all about finding creative ways to reduce your expenses in retirement. For example, have you ever thought about retiring abroad? Countries like Portugal, Panama, and Thailand offer a high quality of life at a fraction of the cost of retiring in the US. Imagine sipping coconuts on a beach while your retirement fund stretches further than you ever thought possible. Or what about house hacking? No, this doesn't involve breaking into people's homes. It's about buying a multi-unit property, living in one unit, and renting out the others. Your tenants essentially pay your mortgage, allowing you to live for free and save more for retirement. It's like being a landlord, but without the hassle of fixing other people's toilets at 2 a.m. But here's the most important thing to remember. The key to a successful retirement isn't just about how much money you have. It's about creating a life you don't need to retire from. Start thinking now about what truly makes you happy. Is it travel? Time with family? Finally writing that novel about a detective who solves crimes by reading tea leaves. When you focus on building a life around these things, you might find that you need less money than you think to have a fulfilling retirement. So let's recap our 5 mind-blowing ways to save for retirement on a tight budget. Harness the power of compound interest, aka let your money make babies. Use micro-savings apps, turn your spare change into a gold mine. Start a retirement-boosting side hustle, get paid to walk cute dogs. Maximize your employer benefits, free money alert. Get creative with retirement hacking. Coconuts on the beach, anyone? Remember, every dollar you save today is like sending a love letter to your future self. It doesn't matter if you're starting with $100 or $100, the most important thing is that you start. Your future self will thank you, probably while sipping a pina colada on a beach somewhere. And hey, if you found this video helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend who needs to hear this message. We're all in this together, and the more people we can help secure their financial future, the better. Oh, and if you want to learn more about making the most of your money, check out my next video on the screen now.